Alright, file new. English, standard, create. Start a 2D sketch on the XY plane. Make a rectangle. It's going to be 0.75 tab 5.5. And I'm going to extrude it 8 feet. And I will just change it to white oak. I'm going to save it. One by 6 FASCIA board. So I'm just going to bring in a new assembly here. Some of you might have that assembly already because you have those two pieces in there. Just going to put my 1 by 6 fascia board in there. And I will place my top truss and the bottom truss. Okay, so this here is the tricky part. I'm going to take this flat face here, put it against the board like that, and then I would like this face right here, that top face, I would like it to line up with the edge, that front edge like this, both looking in the same direction. That didn't look like it wanted to work. So I would like that flat face there and this front edge here. Kind of like that, but obviously down below it. There we go. So that when we look at it like that, I could put a piece of plywood down and it would just touch the edge like that. And then the first one we're just going to put right at the end of the board like this. Okay, like that. Once we have that, what we're going to do is take a pattern of our two pieces and we're going to run it along the edge. And our centers, OCs, will be that, and we're going to take 5 of them. And in fact, I'm actually going to offset the first one here, 0.75. Because I don't want to so I just want, that way I can put another fascia board on like that. This last one here will be offset as well. We're going to place some 1/2-inch plywood in there. 1/2-inch plywood. So I am going to constrain it flat against that surface there. And then I'm going to make it flat against that side there. I don't know why. I'm actually going to give it a 3/4 inch indent. And then the last constraint will be down here on the edge. 1/2-inch plywood. And then we're just going to constrain it to the edge. There we go. Okay, so if we look at it from the side, it should look like that. And then we're going to do a pattern on that plywood. So there's my 2 sheets of plywood. Okay, we're going to make a file new part. File new, English Standard, create. And we are going to make what we call a 3-tab shingle. Okay, it should look something like that. Like that right there. So it is 3 feet long, and each tab is about 12 inches long. And it's about 1 foot high. So we're going to make a new sketch, and we're going to make a rectangle. And it's going to be 36 tab 12. And then we're just going to make 2 more rectangles inside that rectangle. These are just going to be the tabs. And they are going to be 1/4 inch wide. And we don't yet. What we're going to do is trim the thing that we don't want. We're just going to trim a gap in there. If we look here, it's about 6 inches high. And 1/4 inch by 6 inches should be your size here. About 6 inches high. And then we're just going to trim that out. And now the actual size itself, if we make these tabs here equal, it'll just put itself into where it should be. This and this and this and this are all equal. And obviously it now made this not parallel, or sorry, perpendicular. So I need to make those collinear. Collinear means that they are in the same line. And then I will make this here perpendicular. That means 90 degrees. And there we go. And obviously that doesn't like being perpendicular either. There's perpendicular, and there we go. Now, last thing I will do is just make these collinear. That means in the same line here. And so your shingle should look like that. I'm going to extrude it 1/8. And I will just make it something black. I will save it as 3-tab shingle. We are going back to our roof assembly here, and we are going to place the 3-tab shingle. Where did I save it? We are placing that 3-tab shingle. We're going to put it right there. Oh, she looks rather large. Look at that. Shingle. Okay, the shingle will sit flat on the surface of the wood. It actually doesn't sit flat on the wood itself. We put something else in there. Who knows what we might put in there? Yeah, it's actually called ice and water shield. It's like a big sticker. And that ice and water shield usually sits the first 3 feet from the eaves. So it's a big sticker you put on right about here. It just catches any water that's underneath there. So our shingle should start like that one right there. Okay. And if I go over to the Google here, you can see how they're laid out like this. They're overlapping each other. Like that or like that. That's a good... so they have staggered seams as well. And that just means that any water that runs through those little tabs will run up onto the next one. We are not doing that in Inventor. What we are going to do is make a pattern just of this that shingle itself, and we are going to pattern it all the way around. We would like to have, I don't know, 3 of them, and then our second pattern is going to go up, and it will be 6 inches. Nope, sorry, 12 inches. It won't exactly be what we have, but remember, we're just looking at this in sections, so okay, there is our pattern right there. I'm going to make a new sketch, and I'm going to pick the plane that the whole assembly is sitting on. So I'm going to look through my origin folder here, and I'm going to look on that plane that's on the bottom there, and I want that there to be the plane that I sketch on. Like that there. In my case, it is the XZ plane. I'm going to make another spline. I'm going to just pick here, down in here, up in the middle. I want to stop where the that last stud ends. I'm going to change this over to line. Since I can't see it, I need to change my visual style to wireframe with hidden edges. And I'm just going to go all the way down. I want to cut off all that excess shingle. And so I'm just going to make a big group select, finish the sketch, and then I will go over to 3D model, extrude, and I'm going to flip this guy to through all. And it should look like that right there. Just change my view back from hidden line, and it should look like that. There's your spline sketch.